see? What exciting adventures will we choose?
Hello everyone,
Hi again, it's Darren and Susan
from Retiredtimetocruise.
with another video.
Yeah, we're on the Carnival Mardi Gras. Well, haha, not today. Today we're actually in Playa de Ora, Spain, sitting on our balcony at our apartment.
But we wanted to show you some video that we took while we were on the Mardi Gras. As far as I'm aware, I was allowed to take video of the ice carving.
Yeah, now this guy, he does a fantastic job, and they said he broke a record. Now, I don't know for sure if he broke a record, but he was sure quick.
Anyways, we'll give you a little bit of commentary while he's carving. Here we are watching Romeo carving ice on the Carnival Mardi Gras.
Now, normally the deck is full of people watching the ice carving, and you can't get as close as Susan is to do her recording.
I don't remember if this was a really cold day outside or not, or if everybody was in the casino, because a lot of people spent a lot of time in the casino.
Yeah, it looks like it's a sunny day, and I remember it being a sunny day, but really windy.
Anyways, there were ample chairs, and I got one right front row. I think I'm just about the closest person sitting next to Romeo as he's carving.
Now, they always start with these blocks of ice, and they get these blocks of ice months ahead and keep them in frozen on the ship.
We were told they usually get these blocks of ice from Colombia. I'm not sure if this one came from Colombia or not, but they did say it starts out at about 300 pounds, and by the time he's finished, it's only about 150. So he chips away half of the ice.
That's right. Now, they use something like a chisel. It's like a handheld small woodworking chisel, except for, of course, it's 3 feet long. And you can see the way he manipulates it around, and he's always chipping and cutting and chipping and cutting. And before you know it, now he can also make things white with that chisel. They don't actually have to be clear. And I'm sure there's a certain way he holds it that actually makes the ice look white.
This looks to be the 2-inch chisel that he's using right now. I'm not sure if he's got 3 different sizes or forms, but this is what he starts with, is the 2-inch chisel, just making a rough gouging out of this block of ice.
Now, if you've ever seen anyone do an actual rock statue, it's very similar. They attack it with a hammer and chisel, and they chip away at the rock. Same as he's doing with the chisel. They make the big gross chunks off first, and then they switch to finer and finer tools as they go along. He does the same with the ice carving.
I wonder if with a rock carving they have to warn people not to eat the chunks that come off, otherwise you're going to spend the rest of your day in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's one thing they tell you with the ice carvings is don't pick up the ice chips and put them in your drink, and don't use them to cool yourself off, as far as pop a piece of ice in your mouth and crunch it up, because for whatever reason they don't want you to eat the ice.
I'm not sure if there's special minerals in the water to make it freeze so clear, but we have heard all kinds of things that say don't eat the ice chips.
That's right. Now, you notice that Romeo has tall insulated rubber boots on, because he's standing in all of that ice as he's cutting around on that piece of ice.
Now, they didn't tell us, but normally the ice carvers on cruise ships are from Indonesia. They seem to have the special training that's required to do these high quality carvings for cruise ships and hotels.
Yeah, that's the other thing I noticed too, is that they didn't tell us that where he went to school, because we've been at the ice carving on other ships, and they've told us where the guys go to school to learn the ice carving, and Susan's right, it is in Indonesia.
Funny to think that someone from such a hot place would be educated to do such delicate work with ice that doesn't last well in hot places.
Yeah, that is a strange thing. Now, we didn't see this ice carving again on this ship, but on lots of other ships, when they're done carving them on deck, they put them back in the freezer and then they bring them out and they use them in displays at the dining room or the buffet as a...
Usually it's on the very last formal night that they do the display with the ice carving. But this carving took place on the second last day of the cruise. And there were no more formal days because, of course, on the second last day, everyone is getting their laundry done and everything is getting packed so they're ready to go to the next step of their holiday.
Well, that's true. And we didn't go to a midnight buffet that night, so they may have used it at the midnight buffet.
They could have. I'm not sure if they had a special buffet that night. We don't go out to the really, really late stuff. We generally head to bed sometime between 10 and 11.
Unless it's the piano bar, and then we could be persuaded to stay up till at least 11:30.
At least. There were all kinds of fun things to do on this ship. We didn't go on deck to watch very many activities because we were always busy.
So as you can see, as Susan pans around a little bit as she zooms out, there's the row of chairs in front, and all the loungers are out and people are on them, and the people are standing at the rails. And I guess there was more people watching this than I realized.
But not the crowds we've seen in the past. He is getting very well along with this carving. You can see the shape starting to form. Any guesses what do you think it is yet?
Let us know in the comments at this point. If you think you know what he's carving, let us know.
And if you already were on the Mardi Gras and know the answer, maybe save it for a few people that don't know.
We'd really appreciate some more comments on our videos. It would be great.
And subscribe if you haven't already. We really appreciate the support and look forward to giving more videos all the time.
So here he is. He's getting down. He's probably going to switch chisels here right away. And he'll switch to a finer detailed chisel to do the fine details on his carving.
I think at this point we're pretty clear of what this is going to be. I took away the soundtrack when I recorded this video because they tend to be playing copyright protected music in the background, and I'm really very careful to try to avoid copyright infractions with YouTube because I don't want to have any strikes against me so that I can keep on posting videos for the future.
Well, and the other part of it is that there's a lot of work involved with editing and putting these together, and we'd hate YouTube to take a video down just because we were playing some Mariah Carey song or who knows what's playing.
Right. They had ice-themed music in the background, so if you would like to have some kind of music, just play something that has the word ice in it.
Well, you remember more than I do because I didn't remember what music was playing.
Darren was sitting across on the other side, so he got to see the other side of this being carved while I was videoing this side. He's really getting down into details. I was amazed how thin he could make these pieces without them breaking off. I would break it, I'm sure.
I think I would too, and I just was watching as he was doing this, and he kept moving that chisel around and spinning it, and he'd give it like 3 pushes and then he'd whack it, and a chunk would fall off, and it was what was left behind was exactly what he wanted.
Now, you get to practice some of this stuff on the ships that they do all the time. Like, you'll have the towel folding and the napkin folding.
Oh, and they do fruit carving, and you actually can do a fruit carving course.
But there is no ice carving. I think they're afraid that people would hurt themselves with the chisels and they would eat the ice chunks.
Well, maybe, and the thing is that, I mean, whose chisels are you going to use? Because the ice probably dulls them, and they don't want to spend all that time resharpening for all the people to use the chisels.
And you know, we used to watch a show about them making blades, and one of the tests of those blades was often chopping ice, because they said it's very hard on a blade. So I would imagine that these particular chisels are made of very specialized, either with a specialized process or specialized steel, so that they don't break when they're handling the ice.
That's what I would think too. They'd have to have a certain hardness to them to hold the edge, but not so hard with the ice that they would break. And there he is. He's got a huge pile of ice around his feet, and he's just chewing away on that unicorn like crazy.
You think that's a unicorn?
Oh, it has to be a unicorn. Look at the horn coming out of the top of its head.
I was surprised how much he slipped around on the ice. They do have a tarp underneath the sculpture, and I think that's just to help them clean up more easily once he's finished, because they don't want all of that ice to melt onto the pool deck. The staff works really hard to make sure that the walking conditions are safe all the time.
Yeah, no shortage of yellow triangles out when there's a slippery floor. I'll tell you, they every little bit is marked where they've wiped until it dries up, and then they come and take the yellow triangle away.
I think you may have noticed a lady walking up and putting something in the corner that's by where his tools are. That's an Olaf. That's one of the snowmen from Frozen. They've got Olaf watching this being created.
I thought that was pretty funny too, that she was using that she was using the snowman from the Frozen movie as she was doing his ice carving.
It was kind of amusing. There were a few children there. I know you might have seen that one child walk by. There's 3 or 4 that were very excited watching this. But they did stay back, and I don't think any of them ate any of the chunks of ice that hit the ground.
Well, and they should have been excited. It's not every day you get to see a unicorn appear out of a block of ice. I'm thoroughly convinced it's a unicorn.
Yeah, I don't think Darren paid very much attention when it was being done. There, the ladies moving Olaf again.
Yeah, it is funny. Each of the passengers, so obviously they put Olaf in a lot of their different social media posts and everything, watching what's going on and taking a look so she can get pictures of that. We also, a few years ago, everybody was doing a flat Stanley, and I don't know if you remember the flat Stanley craze, but basically it was a cartoon character that was a flat piece of paper with sticky on the back, and they'd slap them on a window of a tour bus or on the edge of a castle or wherever we were at, and they were always sending those on social media.
Yes. So I think that it's really neat that the staff didn't step in when the person got close with the Olaf. And there you can see he is done. Can you see what it is?
Unicorn!
Nope, it is not a unicorn. Oh, there he holds up Olaf beside the dolphin!
Oh, it's a dolphin! Well, there you go.
Did you figure out what it was?
I was struggling as I was watching him carve it. I thought for sure it was a swan.
We've seen them carve all kinds of different things. Swans, the angelfish in the aquarium was really nice.
It was cool. And then the one time they did I think there was one big dolphin and 3 small ones, but that was separate blocks of ice, but they slid them all together and made like a whole big, like you'd see at a fountain.
And I think they did a mermaid before. Those ones always take a little bit longer, but we appreciated that this one was really efficient.
Like everything else with Carnival. Efficient.
And fun.
Well, I sure hope you enjoyed that ice carving.
I do too. We did post a different ice carving from I think that was the Princess ship that we did the whole ice carving, but it may have been the Norwegian ship. Man, these cruises are all starting to blend together.
That is one of the things that we have to try and keep straight is which ship we're on when we're on the ships, because we'll start talking with friends of ours and all of a sudden we're talking about a different ship than the one we're on.
So, this one was Romeo on the Carnival Mardi Gras carving a dolphin for everyone.
Sure hope you enjoy it.
Thanks for watching.
Bye now.
Bye.
We're retired, it's time to cruise. Where will we go next? What will we see? What exciting adventures will we choose? We'll make new friends and make some plans.